This week on Siskel and Ebert, Matt Dillon, Kevin Bacon, and Neve Campbell are caught in an explosive scandal in Wild Things.
Rosie O'Donnell coaches a young boy through a tough year in Wide Awake.
And Jackie Chan battles evil drug dealers as Mr. Nice Guy.
After tonight, the three of us are not to be seen together again.
Matt Dillon is accused of raping two young Florida women, including Neve Campbell from Scream in Wild Things, a convoluted crime story that's one of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Wild Things is yet another story of treachery and sexual intrigue full of double crosses and revenge and murder. We seem like we're getting one of these a week. And the special hook here is that this one is more sexually explicit than others, with, as Roger mentioned, high school guidance counselor Matt Dillon accused of sexual assaults against the teenage girls in his charge. One is from the wrong side of the tracks of this wealthy Florida community. She's played by the red-hot actress Neve Campbell from Scream.
Did you ask him to stop?
What difference does it make? No one's gonna believe me anyway.
This man rape you? Did Sam Lombardo rape you?
Yeah, okay, he did. He pushed me to the floor. Now, are we done?
One welcome surprise in the film is comic relief, provided by Bill Murray as Dillon's sleazy defense attorney.
What did you do to your neck?
There was an insurance guy around here earlier.
Also accusing Dillon of rape is Campbell's classmate, played by Denise Richards. A local detective, played by Kevin Bacon, is suspicious about a possible connection between the women.
Nice stroke.
Is there some reason why you're here?
Curiosity, I guess.
About what? How to improve your breaststroke?
No, actually, I was curious about how you see things working out for you and Sam and Susie.
Excuse me?
3 of you gonna go down to the Caribbean together? Live happily ever after? Because, see, the thing about it is that threesomes rarely work out.
You're out of your mind.
I mean, it's hard enough for one person to keep a secret, let alone 3.
Later, Matt Dillon, still under suspicion, pleads his case with a female detective, nicely played by a fresh face, actress Daphne Rubin Vega.
Read it. You're going to find an angry, sexually confused girl who threatened the lives of at least 2 people.
What 2 people?
Well, one of them was her mother. The other one was a female classmate she may have been sexually involved with.
As much as I appreciated the plot, twists, and turns in Wild Things and the hot look of the film, I was always quite aware that I was watching a very commercial enterprise with sensational moments popping up as regularly and sometimes as artificially as billboards along the highway. I'm giving the film a marginal recommendation, but just barely. Maybe I wanted a little more heart in what I guess is supposed to be a heartless story.
Oh, I don't think it's that heartless. Yeah, I guess I liked it more than you. I think it's basically a comedy or a satire by John McNaughton, the man who made Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. And what we have here is like cafeteria style. You have sex, you have violence, you have romance, you have Bill Murray popping up and enlivening 20 minutes of the film totally unexpectedly.
I like that very much.
At the
I
end,
said the same thing.
With the little clips that come in during the credits, you have all of the things that happened off screen during the story. That's kind of a new use of those credit cookies.
Yeah, when my feeling about using the end credits is that usually it's a sign of desperation. But I am recommending the picture. I like this cast. And that Daphne Rubin Vega, did you like her? Yeah.
She's very good, yes.
Yeah, and again, Bill Murray, boy, did this film need him.
The whole cast works together.
Yeah, they do.
It's fun. Okay, next movie. And our next movie is a strange and sometimes touching story called Niagara that takes the old formula of 2 outcast young lovers on the run. We've seen that hundreds of times. This time it adds an unexpected plot twist. The 2 central characters meet while shoplifting and find an instant, shy, inarticulate rapport.
You know, sometimes when I'm saying something and it's really important, I can't look at the person that I'm talking to, and I just think it's really great that you can't do that either.
That's Henry Thomas, who was in E.T. 16 years ago as Seth there. And Marcy is played by Robin Tunney, who won the Best Actress Award at Venice for this performance. On the road, she tells him she suffers from Tourette syndrome.
I have, I have these muscle tics, like tensing up and my head goes back. And I also have this thing called echolalia, which is when you have to repeat the same word over and over until you feel like in your throat that... Actually, it's like I have this itch inside of me, and if I don't tick or say the word exactly the way I need to say it, I just feel like I'm gonna explode.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like I want to do this stuff. I have to.
They try to steal drugs to control Marcy's condition, but a pharmacist shoots them, and then they're befriended by an eccentric fisherman, well played, interestingly, by Michael Parks.
And I saw the way he landed the fish and kind of held him, and I thought, well, he might be scared of worms, but you don't need a damn worm to catch a fish. But now you tell me you're scared of fish.
Marcy has always wanted a hard-to-find doll, and in a toy store in Toronto, she finds it, but Tourette syndrome causes her actions to be misinterpreted.
Hurdy-gurdy-birdie.
Excuse me?
No.
Excuse me.
She doesn't mean that. It's just,
I think you two should leave.
No.
Marie!
No.
Marie!
Right, hey,
Marie!
Marcy.
Niagra is a perceptive and understanding treatment of Tourette syndrome. In fact, the first one I can remember ever having seen in the movies. And the performances by both Tunney and Thomas are pure and observant. They evoke the characters instead of just going for the melodrama. They're both very natural, unaffected actors. It's too bad that we've seen the basic road plot 100 times before. Young lovers meet, they go on the run, they meet people who help them and people who hurt them, and they seem destined for a tragic ending. These characters are interesting enough they didn't need to be plugged into a road movie. Still, the performances are so good that I vote thumbs up.
And that's the same basis on which I recommend it marginally. You used the word shy to describe them early on, and I would want to emphasize that. Frequently in these young lover stories, they're full tilt out, and it's, you know, they can handle the world, but the world can't handle them. Well, in this case, these are characters who may not be able to handle the world, and I like that difference. They are, we come up to the screen to want to shelter them, as opposed to be shown their flashy style, which is the standard way of playing this story out.
They create a lot of affection on the part of the audience. And, you know, Henry Thomas, who child actors have a problem developing into adult actors. He is very convincing here. And Michael Parks, who hasn't been around in a long time, does a good job with that eccentric fisherman.
Yes. Okay. Coming up later, Rosie O'Donnell is a nun who tries to keep a troubled kid in line in Wide Awake.
That's not funny. Is that funny?
Coming up next, Hong Kong martial arts action star Jackie Chan battles the mob in Mr. Nice Guy.
What the? Hey, what's going on?
Jackie Chan doing his own stunts as always, playing a TV chef who purees some thugs and defends a pretty woman in Mr. Nice Guy, Chan's latest attempt to court the world film market. And give him points for this. No actor today tries harder to please than Jackie Chan, with his constant impish grin and willingness to attempt any stunt, no matter how absurd or dangerous, as in this chase scene done in his own style. Jackie Chan is also good at hand-to-hand combat. It really doesn't matter who the bad guys are or what the story is, now does it? And here is his homage to, I suppose, James Bond in a ticklish situation in Goldfinger. I mentioned how eager Jackie Chan is to please moviegoers. You get the feeling that he would be willing to jump off the screen, run up the aisle, go out to the refreshment counter, and buy and carry back popcorn for everyone, and then jump back up on the screen and into a stunt. And you know what? If he hears it, he's going to try it in his next picture. The story of Mr. Nice Guy is generic, Chan could and should do better. I found watching about half of this film was enough for me. I can't give Mr. Nice Guy a flat-out recommendation, so a marginal thumbs down in an effort to encourage him to do better next time out.
Oh, I am voting thumbs up. And one of the things I like is not just the stunts and the action scenes, but the perfect, meticulous timing, almost out of silent comedy, in some of the little throwaway things. There's a moment when he's got a gun that he knows isn't loaded, and he points it at a guy who has a loaded gun. So they're pointing guns at each other. Jackie goes like this, the guy goes like this, Jackie hands him his gun. The guy takes the gun, and while he's doing it, Jackie takes his gun. Then the guy shoots him, but he doesn't have bullets in the gun now. And the way he does that, the physical logic of that, is just charming. I love it when he comes up with material like that.
Roger Ebert in his first performance on Siskel and Ebert.
Thank you very much. Thank
Roger
you.
is going to do the parting of the Red Sea and the Ten Commandments next week. When we come back, Rosie O'Donnell is a tomboy nun in Wide Awake about a little boy who wants a sign from God.
No one is going to hell.
Joshua.
Joseph Cross plays a fifth grader named Joshua who doesn't want to go to school in that scene from Wide Awake because he's so depressed about the death of his beloved grandfather. The loss makes him obsess about life, death, and the unfairness he thinks of God. And he can't forget the void in his life left when his grandfather died. Here's a flashback from just a year earlier.
The winner of our fourth grade...
Sister, my grandson hasn't finished the race.
Robert Loggia as Granddad. And now that he's gone, Joshua is an unhappy student who seems to attract trouble. Rosie O'Donnell plays the nun who's his teacher, and her character is brash and likable.
If Billy and Newman went through together, I thought maybe Josh and I could...
Do you do everything that Billy and Newman do?
No, sister, I don't.
I certainly should hope not. Are you all right, Joshua? Stay right here. I'll get some help. Be quiet! Try to be calm. Single file!
That's the best Rosie O'Donnell performance I've seen in a movie. Joshua asks for a sign from God and then quizzes his parents to see if one has been detected. They're played by Dana Delaney and Dennis Leary.
Or a holy vision, anything like that?
I didn't see anything, honey.
Wide Awake is a strange hybrid of a movie. It's about a child, but it's not really a children's movie. It's more of an entry in the currently popular genre about angels in our midst.
Come on, Pygmy.
Little Joshua asks why, if there is a God, such terrible things can happen in the world. And although he gets an answer at the end of the movie, it's not to that difficult question. The performances are all on target, and the movie has a certain emotional appeal, but if you want to see a great movie about a child facing the fact of death, that would be Ponette, the French film from last year. Wide Awake has more of a cutesy, sentimental approach, and I think it'll depress kids.
So you're voting how?
I'm voting down.
I'm voting up. I don't know what it'll do to children, but it elated me in this sense that I thought it was a serious inquiry about God from a child, and I thought that was refreshing. There weren't a lot of cheap shots at Catholic school, I mean, that a standard script like this might take. And I, too, like this Rosie O'Donnell performance, and the reason why we think it's her best on film, because it's the first one that we've liked on film.
You know,
she does a very good job
I
here.
want to tell you, I never got Rosie O'Donnell until this picture. I didn't know what, I mean, she's great on television, but I'd never seen her in a movie role until now, and I think she's found the right note here that she can use.
Well, it's not just comic work here. There's a richness, a caring about this woman, and it fits perfectly. But again, what I was interested in is, as someone who wrote an essay, you know, in philosophy class, you know, is there a God, and tried to come up with 18 sentences approaching that, I thought this kid was very serious about his inquiry, and I appreciated that. I think the film has some real substance to it, and I recommend it.
Is there a God?
What? I'll answer that on next week's show. How's that for a tease? Maybe I should wait for a rating period. Coming up next, a detective tries to free himself from his ties to the mob in Fireworks.
今度だったら殺すぞ。
while battling gangsters and his wife's illness in Fireworks, a new film by Japanese director Takeshi Kitano, who is omnipresent in the world of Japanese entertainment right now, currently appearing in, get this, 7 weekly television shows, in addition to writing, directing, and starring in his own movies, of which Fireworks is the latest. Kitano plays a detective whose wife is very sick as they take perhaps their final trip together. The crime story in Fireworks involves Kitano's character owing big money to the mob, and they want to be paid. His partner becomes a paraplegic in the line of duty and tries to find relief for his physical and psychic pain through painting and through appreciating nature. To its distinction and credit, Fireworks emphasizes the personal stories of its detectives over their professional exploits. These are men before they are detectives, Kitano reminds us in a film that offers a fresh spin on an old story, Cops and Bad Guys.
Yeah, I liked his stylistic approach, which was kind of like a Charles Bronson Death Wish movie, with all of the extra dialogue and all of the plot and all of the motivation drained right out of it. So all that you have left are the very pure confrontations. The guy and his wife, the guy and the bad guys. He's sweet with the wife, he's violent with the bad guys. Right. He's obviously pathologically nuts in some way. I mean, he's got some kind of strange behavior going on here that comes out in a real effective way. Yeah. I, again, appreciated that in these stories that action didn't rule. Mm-hmm. It's intense, but it's intense psychologically. And it's very, very brief, as for example, when he stabs the chopsticks into the guy's eyes. Okay. That just happens in a second. If you're not looking, you can't believe you've even seen it. When we come back, our video pick of the week, a wicked movie about the games men play.
Women, nice ones, the most frigid of the race. It doesn't matter in the end. Inside, they're all the same. Meat and gristle and hatred.
Ebert's video pick of the week is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
The tough and cruel drama In the Company of Men has just been released on home video, and it's my pick of the week. And here's a movie that takes sexual harassment in the workplace about as far as it can go. Not in terms of physical assault, but in terms of cruel psychological mind games. 2 men are assigned to spend some time at a branch office of their corporation. Aaron Eckhart, who has a grudge against women, convinces his co-worker, Matt Malloy, to go along with him on a practical joke.
But I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, let's say we stumble on somebody, okay? And, I mean, this person's just vulnerable as hell. You know, young thing, wallflower type or whatever. Or, like, disfigured in some way, I don't know. But just some woman who is pretty sure that life, and I mean a full, healthy sexual life, romance, stuff like that, is just lost to her forever.
Their plan, they'll both romance a woman in the office and then both dump her. It takes on an additional twist when they select a deaf woman played by Stacey Edwards.
This isn't easy. I hate this part of dating. It's always hard when you start to feel something for a person. Begin to, you know, feel like taking that next step. You see what I'm trying to say, right? Cards are on the table. You are so beautiful.
This is the kind of movie you really have to talk about afterwards. It's bold and disturbing, and it isn't only about the sick joke that's played at the beginning. The movie deals with more, and it cuts deeper. And by the end, we see it's about a whole system of values in which men as well as women can be victims. In the Company of Men was one of last year's best films, and it's my video pick of the week. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this show. 2 thumbs up for Wild Things, with its mixture of sex, suspense, comedy, and a twisted plot. 2 more thumbs up for Niagra, which doesn't need its road movie plot but contains fine performances. A split vote on Jackie Chan's Mr. Nice Guy. I enjoyed its lighthearted physical comedy, but Jean thought the film could have been better. Another split decision on Wide Awake, about the little boy missing his grandfather. Jean was touched by its appeal, but I thought it was too cutesy for adults and too painful for children. And finally, 2 thumbs up on Fireworks, Takeshi Kitano's lean, tightly plotted gangster film.
Well, the film that surprised me, I think, was Wide Awake. I thought it was serious, as I mentioned. Remember, you can hear our reviews on the web at Siskel-Ebert.com. Next week, we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including Matthew McConaughey and Ethan Hawke as 2 of the bank-robbing Newton boys.
You only get to make one mistake with this. They find a finger or a toe. Well, that's what they bury. We should probably leave now.
And also, The Proposition, the story of a love triangle among William Hurt, Madeline Stowe, and Kenneth Branagh. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.